A family of three: a dad, a mom, and their little 6-year-old daughter decide to get away from it all. They drive up into the remote, rugged mountains of Oklahoma, looking for a piece of land to buy, a place to start fresh. And then they just vanish. A week later, their pickup truck is found abandoned on a lonely dirt road. Inside, police find their dog, scared and starving, but alive. They also find their wallets, their IDs, their cell phones, and a bank bag stuffed with $32,000 in cash. 32 grand, just sitting there. But of the family, there is no sign. No blood, no struggle, nothing. It's like they stepped out of the truck for a second and were just erased from existence. This isn't a plot from a movie. This is the deeply bizarre and chilling real-life mystery of the Jamison family, and it's a rabbit hole of pure chaos that only gets weirder and darker the further you go. In October of 2009, Bobby Jamison, his wife Sherilynn, and their daughter Madyson packed up their truck and headed towards the Sands Boys Mountains. They were looking at a 40-acre plot, a place to build a new life off the grid. The first sign that something was seriously wrong was the home surveillance footage from the day they left. It showed Bobby and Sherilynn moving back and forth from the house to the truck, loading up in a dead silent, robotic trance. For nearly 20 minutes, they moved like puppets, never speaking, never looking at each other, their faces completely blank. It's unnerving to watch. They seemed dazed, almost hypnotized. Then they got in their truck and drove away, forever. When their truck was found, the scene just created more questions than answers. Who leaves $32,000 behind? If they were robbed, why was the cash still there? If they ran away to start a new life, why leave their dog, their IDs, and all that money? The only real clue left on them was a single, haunting photograph on Sherilynn's phone. It's a picture of her 6-year-old daughter, Madyson, taken on the mountainside. She's not smiling. She's staring at the camera with her arms crossed, looking withdrawn, tense, almost defiant. It's the last known image of her, and it hangs over this whole case like a ghost. The investigation immediately descended into chaos because every single lead just led to another insane, contradictory theory. The cops, the family, online sleuths, everyone had an idea, and none of them made complete sense. The first and most obvious theory was a drug deal gone wrong. Rural Oklahoma, remote mountains, a huge bag of unexplained cash. It has all the hallmarks. Investigators found out that Bobby and Sherilynn had lost a lot of weight recently, appearing gaunt and paranoid to their friends and neighbors. Classic signs of heavy meth use. The theory goes they drove out there to either buy or sell, the deal went south, and they were murdered. It seems plausible, right? It explains the cash and the remote location. But the local sheriff shot this down. He insisted they found no evidence of drug use in the family's life, and a drug hit wouldn't just leave $32,000 sitting in the truck. It just didn't add up. So, if it wasn't drugs, what the hell was it? This is where the story takes a hard left turn into some seriously creepy territory. The family pastor came forward with a story that changed everything. He told police the Jamisons were convinced their house was haunted. Not just creaky floors haunted, but actively, malevolently haunted by multiple spirits. Bobby had even asked the pastor if he knew where to get special bullets to shoot the spirits he claimed were living on his roof. He said their daughter, Madyson, was talking to a spirit named Emily who was a ghost from a past century. But it gets even crazier. Sherilynn, their mother, believed she was a witch and had been spray painting weird messages and witchcraft phrases inside a storage container they owned. The most disturbing piece of evidence, though, was found inside that abandoned truck, an 11-page letter, a manifesto of pure hate, written by Sherilynn to Bobby. It was a vicious, rambling tirade, accusing him of being a hermit, saying she wanted a divorce, just page after page of pure venom. So now you have this picture of a family that isn't just a happy trio looking for land. You have a family steeped in paranoia, believing they're under spiritual attack, and filled with deep-seated hatred. The chaos only intensified from there. Every stone the investigators turned over revealed another layer of high strangeness. Besides the haunting, there were real-life threats, too. Bobby was in a nasty lawsuit with his own father, whom he had accused of threatening to kill him and his family. Bobby even filed a protective order against him. Could the father have put a hit on his own son and his family? The police looked into it, but Bobby's dad had a solid alibi. He was in the hospital at the time. Then there was the mysterious boarder. For a time, the Jamisons had a man living with them in their home, but they kicked him out after discovering he had ties to a white supremacist group. Could this have been a revenge killing? There were even rumors that Sherilynn's name was on a white supremacist hit list. The family was also known to carry guns for protection, but Sherilynn's handgun was missing from the truck. So you have this dizzying storm of possibilities: a botched drug deal, a violent family feud, a white supremacist hit, a double life no one knew about. And this is where the mystery becomes truly terrifying, was it something else entirely? Did they simply get lost? But the area was searched extensively. How could 3 people, one a small child, vanish without a trace less than 3 miles from their vehicle? And then there's the most chilling theory, the one whispered by people who saw their vacant, trance-like state on that final video: a murder-suicide. Did the paranoia, the financial struggles, the belief that their home and child were possessed by demons finally push one of them, or both, over the edge? Did one parent lead the other to deep into the woods to a pre-selected spot and end their lives? It's a horrific thought, but given the 11-page hate letter and the talk of evil spirits, it felt disturbingly possible. The problem is, none of the theories fit perfectly. Every single one leaves a hole, a question that can't be answered. The story was a knot of pure, terrifying chaos with no clear thread to pull. For long, agonizing years, that's where the story sat. A family vanished, leaving behind a truck full of bizarre and contradictory clues. The case went cold, a piece of American Gothic horror filed away under Unsolved. The public's fascination faded, but for the families left behind, it was a constant, open wound. Then, in November of 2013, everything changed. 2 deer hunters, trekking through a remote, rugged part of that same mountain range, stumbled upon skeletal remains. It was 2 adults and 1 child, lying side by side, face down in the dirt, less than 3 miles from where the Jamisons' truck had been abandoned years earlier. It took authorities months of forensic testing, but in July 2014, they confirmed the identities. It was Bobby, Sherilynn, and little Madyson Jamison. The discovery brought a sliver of closure, but delivered an even bigger, more horrifying twist. Everyone expected an answer, a bullet hole, a sign of trauma, something that would finally explain what happened that day in the mountains. But the medical examiner's report was the most terrifying conclusion of all: cause of death, undetermined. Due to the advanced decomposition of the bodies, they couldn't find any evidence of foul play. No bullet wounds, no broken bones, no signs of a struggle. Nothing. All of the theories, the drugs, the cults, the family feuds, the witchcraft, the murder-suicide, all of those chaotic, terrifying threads led to a single, infuriating, empty conclusion. Nobody knows how they died. They just lay down side by side on a remote mountainside and died. The ultimate horror of the Jamison family story isn't a monster or a ghost. It's the absolute absence of an answer. It's a story full of clues that lead nowhere, a puzzle where the final piece will forever be missing. A family was simply erased, leaving behind a legacy of pure, unresolved chaos that haunts those Oklahoma hills to this day.